It was a third night of protests in cities across the Netherlands over COVID-19 curfew restrictions as protesters clashed with the police in the city of Haarlem. In Rotterdam, authorities used tear gas and water cannon as shops were destroyed and looted. Earlier, Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte condemned the rioters.
To begin with, the rioting is inadmissible, and that any normal person could only take notice of it with horror. You really wonder what's got into these people. That was nothing to do with protesting. It's criminal violence and will be treated as such.
Sunday night saw clashes between police and demonstrators in Eindhoven and Amsterdam. Demonstrators are angry over the new nationwide curfew measures which started on Saturday from 9:30 p.m. until 4:30 a.m. The nation has seen more than 13,000 confirmed COVID-19 deaths since the pandemic began. Jay Marcus, News.
Well, let's go live to Amsterdam now to speak to our reporter on the scene there, Stefan de Vries. Stefan, this is really unusual. We don't really see violence like this coming out of the Netherlands. What has prompted so much anger?
No. Yes, indeed, Rosie, and I apologize for the huge sun ray in my head. Actually, yeah, this is very rare in the Netherlands. These are the worst riots for over 40 years. The anger is basically aimed at the government, of course. The lockdown measures, restaurants are closed since already over 4 months. Shops are closed, schools are closed, so a lot of young people don't have anywhere to go. They are angered also by the slow pace of the vaccination program in the Netherlands. The Netherlands is now the slowest country in the European Union when it comes to the rate of vaccinating the people. So there's a lot of anger. Of course, it must be said that a very large majority of the population, over 80%, support the measures of the government, and that the riots we've seen over the last couple of days is just the work of a relatively small group of either people who oppose the measures or simply young people who are bored and see this as some kind of distraction of their relatively, well, monotonous life during lockdown in the Netherlands.
And we've seen that military police have been called in to try and help. Is the situation under control? Might there be more violence?
Well, probably there will be more riots in the next couple of days, but the police says that they have the situation under control, that there's no reason to put the army in a position to help the police, which is actually something not at all in the Dutch tradition. Mayors are usually the ones who are in charge of the police in their cities, and it is very unlikely that the central government will help them with the army, for instance. It is, of course, a troubling situation for the Netherlands that so many groups in so many different cities take to the streets after the curfew to create havoc. Yeah, more riots are expected tonight, also over the next couple of days, and we'll have to see what the Dutch government is going to put in place to tackle the violence that has now been going on for 3 days in the Netherlands.